Hi guys, it's me, Kamsi with an E, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can tell from the title, sorry, we're going to be doing something different from my usual content. Today we're going to be talking about everything I did to go from high school to university, as well as including like some tips and tricks from my friends that are already in university and decided to give me some things they wish they did and didn't do. So to start off, let me just give you a list of all the exams, everything. As like discarding school exams, I've written GCO levels in October, no, the October November ones, and the May June ones. I've also written WASCI, written SATs, I've written IELTS, I've written CASPER, and I wrote a few exams to obtain my OSSD, which is the diploma for Canadian high schools. So basically, when I was done with high school, I'm not school. When I was done with high school, I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready to go to university, and my parents supported my choice because I think they too believed I wasn't ready for university. So I was enrolled into this 1 year foundation program in a college in Lagos, and that's where I obtained my OSSD. And I also did like a few more things there that I actually believe benefited me academically, socially. It made me a bit more mature to enter into university, and they also helped me with other various things. Okay, so most of you might not know, but I am going to University of Alberta for nursing, and yeah, that's Canada in Edmonton. So yeah, that's that. But let me stop turning because I think I'm getting a headache. Okay, so what are some things that I did? Well, I partook, of course, you have to keep your academics high, depending on what you want to study, depending on the subjects that you're required for the whatever you want to study. Because I'm going into health sciences, so of course I had to take biology, chemistry seriously. I also had to do physics, and I really didn't like it, but what can I do? And then what like the best thing you can do at this point when you're looking at university is like just try and immerse yourself in a bunch of extracurriculars and community service because it makes you stand out from the crowd, I guess. Um, it's like you do extracurriculars that like make sense towards your course and do some things that just for maybe you can do some things for fun, but just try and do like a different like range of things so that you stand out more and look like you're versatile, flexible, and all that jazz. But don't do too much, or else you might get lost in translation. I might not be able to give you 100% to the ones you are doing. So another thing that I noted was that what's the other thing? Okay, let me just give you examples of extra gigs. I can't remember what I was talking about. I did basketball. I did debates. I actually did a lot of things. I did a lot of community service. I did some community service in high school, and I also had to do some community service during my gap year because it was mandatory. We had to do a designated amount of community service, and I did that. I think I overdid, but I sure did. And I think it's important to note that you should try your best. Yes, I remember what I was going to say. I'm going to say that the best thing you can do right now is if you're getting ready to go to university, I think you should write your personal statements reflecting things you have done or things that highlight you that sell you up. When you're writing personal statements, you're trying to sell yourself to whoever you're writing it for. So I think the best thing you can do right now is that even though it's not required yet, I think you should just have that and then just keep that aside, or you can add to it, take out from it, so that when you actually have something, when you actually need to submit something, you will have something to submit. I said I was going to stop turning. I do not know why I'm still turning. And I think that once again, take your academics seriously. But some people are not academically inclined, and that's fine. That's extremely fine. But whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, you should try and give 100%. And it's important to note that whatever you choose to do has to be your choice. Because if you're following your friends or you're listening to like agree with me, but ultimately you have to realize that it's your life and it's the profession you are going into. Although they may have your best interest at heart, it's important that you understand yourself, you understand what you're good at, you understand your core strengths, your core beliefs, and something else. So I think that's enough of me. And I'm going to talk about some of the things, some of the points my friends gave, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But if you guys want more tips and tricks with everything that I did, just like let me know in the comment section, because I'm thinking of doing a part 2, but then I'll like put questions. So I'll put that thing so you can ask me questions, then I can respond to your questions. But let me know. This would be a good time for you to click the description box, see my socials, and follow me because I post things on my stories and get responses. Okay, so like I said, I post something on my story and ask my friends what they wish they did or didn't do concerning university, such as picking classes, the whole visa process, packing, and all that stuff. And okay, so what I think, okay, the first one is that this person said, I wish I rated my professor while picking classes. Okay, let me explain this perfectly. So when I was picking classes, because when you want to pick classes, of course your school will give you a portal to do that. There were some classes that of course I didn't have the option to pick the particular time or whatnot. I had to take what was given to me, but there were some where I could pick the time. And there's some times that of course sometimes I don't have any classes before 9 a.m. because I don't function before 9 a.m. But so I tried to make sure my classes were earlier. And some of my classes that had multiple teachers, I looked at the classes, and the classes that at the time were mostly filled, like let's just say if there are 100 seats and say 99 chairs are filled, but in another class for the exact same time it was like only 10 chairs are filled. I'm like, there's a particular reason why everyone is going to that class. So that's what I did. It might not be right all the time, but that's basically what I did. Next thing, I wish I applied to residence early. Yeah, I'll try and apply to residence early because sometimes it's not guaranteed you would get a seat at the school, but it's helpful to have your residence. I think I didn't apply to my residence that early, but I still got a room board. That was my luck. So I mistakenly picked a class that ran from 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and I don't live on campus. That's very dangerous because that means you have to be making early morning, late night movements, and I don't recommend that. Actually, look at your classes, look at your residence. There's a lot of factors that go into picking your classes. So I think it's something that you have to sit down, take your time, deliberate on. Okay, I wish I picked a different country. Yes. Because I think in year 7, I wanted to go to UK. In year 9, I wanted to go to US. And now I want to go to Canada. So like before you make a decision on the school you want to go to, you have to think of a lot of things. The cost of living there, the cost of tuition, the scholarship, scholarship, the accessibility, scholarship accessibility. Is that the right thing? I think that's the right thing. There's so many factors you have to think about, and overall you have to think about some things like safety, some things like family members. Like there's so many things you have to that go into picking country of study. Okay, I wish I began at the right time, did orientation, and put effort into making friends. Orientation is very, very important. I think after this video, I actually have a scheduled orientation by 4, so I'm going for that. Try and attend as much orientation as possible because you're getting used to the school system. You're also like being exposed to some helpful pointers because sometimes there's some things they won't say in the school website that maybe an RA will say or someone else will say. I think it's better. And when you're going for those orientations, you're bound to knock heads with people that are your faculty or people that you know them, just to make it easy. I know making friends isn't easy, but like just try. This person said that the visa process was mad stressful. The foundation, the gap where I spent my gap year, I have to say the name, was at Maple Canadian College, and one of the benefits of the school was that they processed our visas for us. So I think where possible, try and give a third party to process your visa because sometimes doing it yourself isn't helpful because there's people that did theirs themselves because Canada visas are extremely hard to get. So people that did their visas themselves, they're kind of regretting it because some of them is not out, some of them was stressed, or some people made mistakes. So I think where possible, give it to a third party professional. Albeit it will be a more expensive option. It's going to be expensive because maybe it's going to be expensive, but you have to think like some expenses are worth it. I think this is worth it. Okay, I wish I planned in my moving budget because it costs a lot to get settled, and it does. You have to like plan. Okay, all right, okay, so I'm here, I'm going to get, this is what I need, this is the quantity I need, this is the duration that I'm expected for. And like, just always try and approximate. If you think something is going to be like, okay, this is going to be $200 max, always approximate it. Like, that's, I always have like a margin. So if you think something's going to be like, you think, okay, the whole moving process is going to be $200, try and approximate it to 250. Always have a backup, always have like a safety net. So let's just say that this $200 have finished and I'm not satisfied, but I still have $50 to take care of some needs until I can I said I was going to stop swinging until I can like be more settled. Okay, another thing, I wish I planned ahead properly, because I now realize that I didn't plan my future right. Plan ahead. There's so many things you have to think about. Some factors that will stop you from planning properly. You have to really evaluate them. Of course, friends. Of course, where I have friends going to my university, but not that I'm going to university because of my friends. But then again, going to a place where you don't know anyone is also not. I know some people. I know you want fresh starts, but sometimes fresh starts is not that easily. It's not that easy to start. So you have to take in a lot of details. Stop swing. Okay, I wish I applied for the visa earlier. That's why I said I didn't. Okay, I started my visa on time, but they had to pause because they needed a school, and I didn't have a school at the time, so I had to wait till my school came out and the biometrics and everything else. So start your visa process. If you know where you're going, to start applying for a student visa as soon as possible, to avoid matters that touch your heart. And I wish I used my WASCI to apply to more schools. What this person meant is that when I was applying to schools, I used my OSSD and I used WIEC. I used SATs. I didn't use my GC O levels because they're not really sound in Canada. If you want to use like a British something in Canada, you should have to use A levels. So my OSSD wasn't out. Of course, it wouldn't be out in November when I started applying, so I had to use WIEC. And some people didn't use WIEC for all of their schools, and that's why some people didn't get admission on time. So where possible, like the more results you have, the better you look. So if you have WIEC, if you have SATs, if you have A levels, if you have OSSD, like the more results that you have, the better it looks for you. If you get what I'm saying. But then again, don't go and jump headfirst into every exam under the sun, because quite frankly, sometimes that it kind of causes a kind of stress that I don't really advise for anyone. And we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for getting this far, and I hope this was extremely helpful. And I don't have anything else to say. I think this video is not that long, but like I really hope it's helpful. Once again, my socials will be linked down in the description box below. If you have any more questions, or if you think I should do a part 2, please say in the comments section. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and whatnot. So thank you. Thanks for watching, basically.